This is for Jesus Club and for Jesus Warriors Club. Today I'm going to talk about issues, but it will be in sort of a Kenyan satire style. So it's titled Mad Teacher's Prayer. The teacher runs amok. Lord Jesus, don't boycott me. Give me a Mwakenya for life's trial and a dialogue for dinner. Kuna kujua. The visitation is coming. That is Kenyan. I know to those who don't belong to East Africa, it may sound out, they may find themselves out of touch, but I'm going to bring you back in line, so we shall move together, don't worry. I'm going to start like a class. When you're talking of issues, we shall look at news words that will be in our satire. There is boycott, where we know in the normal sense you refuse to do something. But we shall also get to know a meaning, a different meaning, Kenyan style. There is Mwakenya. Formerly, when we were young, there were scripts that some people had started, and they were illegal. They were attacking the system at that time. So these people had entitled one of the papers Kenyan, but they could not say Mkenya, they said Mwakenya. Then there is dialogue. There was a situation that arose that the word dialogue was being used in different situations. And there used to be a politician who, when he was welcoming people, when you were near, when the visitors were near, or the visitation was near, he would go telling people it's coming. In Kiswahili, it says wanakuja, but he would say kuna kujwa, kuna kujwa. So it is a word I'm going to use. I've explained the meaning. Please, if you hear it and you come from a different place, don't be surprised, but I'll bring you up to speed. When you've learned this old Kenyan political jargon, we can be able to proceed to the lesson of the day. There are times you are faced with hardships, problems, or sickness. At times you can't understand what is happening in your life. Everything may decide to go awry and you are left wondering, can life be fair really? Can truth be available to the masses? Or like Karl Marx, the German philosopher, said, religion can be the opium of the masses. And I'm asking the question, opium of the masses? Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. There have been situations, because what I've been talking about, I have gone through different religious books, comparative religion, and I felt it was time, after the situation that had happened to me, I felt, which is still happening anyway, I felt it would be nice for me to bring out some things in the open that I'd come across when I was going through those books. I talked of, I've been talking of unity, of one Godhead, of faith, because I've been concentrating on faith. And I know in that situation I may have stepped on a few toes unwillingly, trying to talk of the truth. There was this issue of the book, Finding Our Lineages, Jasha, I think we've talked about that. There was this issue about Herod the Great and the killing of children during the birth of Jesus. We've talked about it. There was this issue of Peter having never stepped in Vatican, not in Rome because he was in Roman Empire, and that is, and who else? And Paul, Paul the rabbi, having not stepped in that place, and I think accidentally, I didn't intend to have been searching for the truth, and that's the truth, because what I talk about, I talk with evidence. I appear to have stepped on some toes of some people, and there have been suggestions like, we wish this guy had not been born within this place. We wish somebody could go after this guy and palm him a bullet in the head. There have been so many things, but it's not my wish to go against your belief. I say, when I talk the truth, I don't ask you to leave your religion, because religion and belief is a personal issue. I just highlight the truth. So if I highlight the truth and it doesn't augur well with you, please don't take it personal. There are books that were edited, made clandestine by religion. They are still there. They are Bible books. For instance, let me start with the Bible, because you talk about something and somebody tells you, it's not in the Bible. This one is not against the Bible. This is forbidden in the Bible. What is the Bible? A Bible is a collection of books. I don't know if it's a Greek word. Yeah, I think it's a Greek word. It comes from the word ta Biblia, the books. So those that were edited and those that are still there are still books. So one has to get that mysterious thing about Bible, get it out, just know they are the books. Because also in the Indian religion, there are the Vedas. Do you know that Vedas means the same as the Bible, the books? So let's get out that mystery, so that you are told that the Bible is supposed to be something, a word that comes, I don't know from what alien dimension. It just means a collection of books. And so does the Vedas. So even the collection that was removed, because some churches felt they should be removed. As a Christian, if you are following, you can still pursue them. They are a collection of books that certain people decided to edit for their own purposes. You will go through others. You have realized some have very strong meanings, but they could not bring. I like being frank. So please don't take it against me. I've also talked about political settings, and there are some things I talk about structure, maybe. Those are my thoughts, my ideas. I've never said I'm going to push any system. So I may talk about ideas, arrangement, solutions that I think of. Those are my thoughts. I only give suggestions. They may go against your political alignment, your favorite politicians, because your favorite may not be my favorite. But in a country like Kenya, which is democratic, you have freedom of politics, just like we have freedom of religion. It should not EQ when I talk about something that you think is against, because I don't force anybody. It's not shaping your political alignment. So stay with your political alignment. What I give are only suggestions. I'm just a civilian like you. I cannot be able to make that much radical influence. I only share, and if we share, we are able to come up with solutions. So I talked about those many words. And I'm going to start with the boycott. There have been situations where people talk of boycott everything this guy is talking about. Would he like to start a new religion? You see what? I'm not beginning any religion. I'm just looking at the truth. I said I belong to the Christian faith, but all other books also were visitations. So do not boycott the situation, because that is the truth. A truth will always stand as truth. So there are times also when one is praying and you say, Lord Jesus, don't boycott me. But there is a satire that came from that book. There was a time when many of the Kenyans were not learned, and some people had ascended to such a top posts, and they didn't have much education, so they went for adult education. So there was a politician who had been taught by a private tutor some English, was learning English, and there was a headline in the newspapers. Students had boycotted classes in a university in Kenya. At that time there weren't many universities, because a certain food had been reduced, the ratios in their diet. So when the politician saw that, he wanted to impress the friends because he knew, and he went to a friend and was telling him, now interpreting, now you know the language and you're very good. See, I say it in Kiswahili and turn it and interpret it into English. Kwa nini huyu kijana ameshikwa? When he saw boycott. So Kiswahili, when you are arrested, we say umeshikwa court. So boycott. So he was concerned, like a politician also. Why has this boy been caught? There are times we find ourselves in that situation. We caught off guard. But what we should remind ourselves, we did not write these books. Anything that is happening, we are new. Christian religion is not 200 years in Kenya. In fact, Islam religion has gone almost 500 years in Kenya. It came earlier than Christianity. Christianity, we have not clocked 200. It's 100 and something, 120, 100 and something, since Christianity started being a serious religion in Kenya and East Africa. Formerly, the Portuguese came, they put Portuguese, but Islam was the dominant religion because the Arabs had moved in. So Christianity is around 120 years, 130 years. So don't get very mad when something has gone awry. It's not you who made it, you also found it. We tell people the truth. We found it that way, we are following it that way. But if other things are, we can discuss, they are there. It's not our making, they are not our writings. So do not feel personal. Take it personal, but there are times when such things have happened. And then there are times when I talked of illegal publications, political. Those who are doing those illegal publications, instead of writing Kenyan, Mkenya, they will write Mwakenya. You know, when people are doing anything illegal, they tend to corrupt. So it is a corrupted form of Kenyan. So when students also had those things happen in those days, those who are in university, some people like doing illegal things, but it's all over the world. It's not. So there are some people when they are doing exams, others who have not studied, they may hide some papers anywhere, but if you are found in Kenya, you are disqualified completely. So some people would hide some of those things illegal because they know they are illegal. They would like to copy some things and they do some, make sure they are hidden in places where they cannot be reached. And because they were illegal papers, they called them Mwakenya, legality. So there are times also when I may do things that, I may say things that may hurt you, but if they are there, they were written, they were edited. That's when this teacher appears like, because some things I say appear like madness, I say, God gave me that illegal script that was edited, bring it over. If it's the book of Jasher, bring it over. If it's the book of Jubilees, bring it over. If it is the book of Maccabees, bring it over. So my prayer goes, oh God, give me a Mwakenya so that I can prove that though it was made illegal, it's still relevant to our belief. So I bring you Mwakenya, another new term. And then dialogue. Let's revisit the story of that politician. So when he was talking about that, the students had boycotted classes. They wanted dialogue with the administration because of the food. Dialogue because of the feeding program. So, because he wanted also to appear to be very reliable, he told them, sasa kama wanataka dialogue, so wapewe wakule. He didn't know what dialogue was. He was still learning English. So dialogue, we know, is talk, communication, agreement, reasoning. But he was still learning English. So he said, if they want dialogue, give them so that they eat. And not as young people are, the students decided to call it is a kind of bread of Indian origin, but it's Kenyan. We have our Kenyan make. The people from India call it roti, but with us we call it chapati. So people ended up calling that food, that bread, dialogue. So the teacher says, these are things that we can, instead of boycotting one another, getting mad at one another, even if it's a political situation I'm talking about, why should we boycott one another? Don't let us be caught like that boy. Let us get our Kenyans together and we can eat dialogue. That means we can discuss these things. They are realities. Truths are truths. Just because people edit it does not make them illegal. They are the truth. The Book of Solomon has a lot of wise teachings. The other books, wise teachings. But they were edited because people at that time, and I told you, the basic thing was it was cutting them out of the show. So, as we continue with these things, we should always know that in the Bible, there are times also when you're faced with problems, you cannot be able to put yourself, position yourself, and you are left asking, oh God, why is it happening? And there are times when the problems are too much, and feel proud, feel happy to use a Kenyan vocabulary. Say, God, give me some answers that people don't have. Let them appear from you for me. Give me a Mwakenya. And God will give you the answers that many people may not have, counselors may not have. God will bring you a Mwakenya. And when you feel you are down and low, some other situations call you to eat bread with God. Sit down, concentrate, go to your room like Isa said, lock the door. Eat some dialogue with God. And I assure you, you follow that. Your blessings and everything will come. The visitations. Kutakujwa. So also feel happy to use satire in a satirical manner. Kuna kujua, visitation is coming. As a Christian, we have to sometimes take some things in a satire form because there are many problems in this world. You may be having occult problems, sometimes things that I've been having, but take them lightly because God says that He'll give you peace within the storm. It is possible. I have peace within the storm. You can't have peace within the storm with Jesus. So there are situations also like I was having, I've just written something with my bank contacts. It is because I had there times when some places like YouTube may be able to award somebody something if somebody is doing something, they call it monetization. But anytime I tried to do that, it has been blocked. Hacked copy, I can't. And wherever you go, you take it round and round. So I put that, and in case of anything, because also I'm being fought financially, there are so many things that have been happening. I put that out in case you want to support this work. Feel free. Those are the only things. I also have heard from these people who they come and brag about what they are doing. They have heard that there are some scams that are going out there about a needy child and anything. I'll put my Equitel card number. So if you want to assist me in anything, please use that number. But any scams that may be using things outside those numbers, that was my specific purpose for putting those numbers. The Equitel card, because I've heard rumors that it's being misused other places to malign me, because some people think that I'm going against some political groups. I'm not. I'm neutral. But they have taken it upon themselves to malign me. So if you will see something like that, talking about one degree teacher, if there is anything you want to, please feel free. I'm not saying I'm stable. I'm not, because I'm being sabotaged. I've been sabotaged in all ways, but the financial sabotage now is the one that is sitting so that it scatters me completely. If you feel you have something you can be able to put, be you in Kenya, be you in any country, you can use that. But if you also find scams moving around with that, know that if anybody will use anything outside that number, it's not me. I hear there are things that are happening, so there are some people who want to collect that just because of political and religious things, to malign. This is a guy who has wanted to do this and do that, and that is normal in life. Because even when Jesus came preaching, he was put in league with those who talk about Beelzebub. You know about Beelzebub? The demon who is called the Lord of Lies. So such things are supposed to happen. That sometimes in pursuit of the truth, you step on toes unwillingly, accidentally, and they will bring repercussions, such like things. So I'm not against any religion. There's a big church that people have been saying I'm against. I cannot bring down a church. I only say the truth. I'm not talking of a unitary religion, because some people have now even started saying this one appears to be the Antichrist. No, I'm talking of visitations, giving out the truth, and we can be able to follow. When you don't agree with me, also call upon Lord Jesus and say, Jesus, give me a Kenya. You'll get. I give and I give details. There are things that we may talk politically, because they are politicians. They have got ideas, but they also would like to listen to different of us. That's why I was talking about the Kenyan political situation, East African political situation. Let's share. Let's give out our ideas. There's no need of criticizing every time. This government is failing, that government is failing, that president, without any solution. Give out ideas. There are people like us, they don't own all the ideas. But if we all give ideas, they'll be able to take some, and the country will go the way we would like it to be. Not everybody is perfect. Even me. Strangely enough, even when Jesus was called good teacher, he rebuked the person who was telling him. He told him there is nobody good except God the Father. So if Jesus could himself would reduce himself to that, what about human beings like me, you, and any, even our leaders? They're not perfect, but they're human beings and they need ideas. Let's share ideas. So any church, I'm not against you. I don't want to bring down any church, but I'll talk about the truth. Any religion, I'm not bringing down any religion. Religions have been there. They have stood for thousands of years. They'll still be there. But let's talk about the truth. That's what I go after. So I'm not waging war against anybody. I'm just going against things that may not be in line. And when I talk politically, I'm a Kenyan. I'm not aligned to any political situation. But wrong is wrong, I'll say it's wrong. Right is right, I'll say it's right. Sabotage is sabotage, I'll say it's sabotage. Support is support, I'll say it's support. Because we all have freedom of speech. Let's listen to it. If you like whatever I say, listen. There are times when I've appeared to be sort of fighting. There have been situations that have appeared where I use wushu, I use judo, I use karate, kenpo. It's not that I'm fighting anybody. I'm confronting a situation because I learned a bit of martial arts. Anybody who has learned martial arts will concur with this. You approach everything in a war style, the way you are taught, and you are able to overcome. So as we approach this, we are not going against anybody, not any tribe, because God loves the diversity. That's why he put us in different. He would have made us all to speak one language. In fact, it's easier. But he decided to give us different languages. He decided to give us different races. Like the Revelation book, he decided where you will be born geographically, which language you will speak, what color you will be when he was designing you before you were conceived, leave alone before you were born. So let's be proud of whatever God made us. And when somebody is different, let's not take ourselves to be superior than others. We are different designs to make this world look beautiful. Imagine if the whole world was growing only roses or violets, how would it look? But there is a variety. You find a rose, you find a different flower, a carnation, and that variety brings excitement. So as God created us, so has our languages. Nobody is superior. It's just variety that God brought. Don't feel you are too high and don't feel you are too low. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm not fighting any tribe. I'm not fighting any political party. But when something goes wrong, I just stop straight. Because Kenya gives us freedom of speech. God gives us freedom of speech. If you would like to follow Jesus and also be truthful, I always say in For Jesus Warriors Club, download the Bible, or from the Bible apps on the phone, or buy a Bible. Read that book. It will help. But don't shy away from visiting the other books that you are told are illegal. It's people at that time who decided to make them illegal. There are a collection of books amongst those collections. The Biblia, a Bible, a collection of books. Don't shy from reading also the other beliefs book. Comparison. We may be fighting and we are talking of the same thing. Because there was a time when I was young, I was growing up, I would get Christians talking of Muhammad, not this is not the prophet, and then the Muslims talking of that Christ of yours, only to realize that when we talk of Christ, it is Jesus, son of Mary, Isa bin Maryam. He's in both books. Why fight? When we talk of Muhammad, there's a prophecy in Isaiah, and here is Muhammad. So you find you may end up even fighting over things that are common amongst you. Why should we fight? That is a belief that came after this. This is a visitation that came before. So in your visitation, please don't look down at anybody, and not everybody will belong to that one visitation. That's why God made different visitations and prophesies different visitations. Embrace your visitation, learn about others, live peacefully with others. Just because their visitation is different from yours doesn't mean it is inferior. Welcome to Jesus Warriors Club. If you want to join Christianity, because Christians are those who follow what Jesus was doing. If you want to join religion, I don't belong to the religion anymore. I am a Christian following Christianity. If you are Muslim, feel free. You can belong there and still have faith. It's not wrong. If you belong to Judaism, who said it's wrong? It is your visitation. If you belong to Hinduism, it is your visitation. And when we talk things that happen to not to be in line, let's always ask God, oh God, give us a Kenya. God will bring us scripts. We shall compare, find this one is wrong, this one is correct, this one we concur, this one we don't concur, this one does not belong anywhere. So that one outrightly, you will be told you are out of the scriptures. That's it. That's my take for today. Thank you.